Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray, and I am still fucking sick. Oh, I might have done that too early. Well, there goes the ad revenue I don't get anyway. Yeah, we're gonna try to do this without coughing, hacking, spitting, or sniffling. I'm probably not gonna edit it out anyway because I sound like crap and I don't feel the best. I'm probably taking a nap after this, but I want to talk to you about the Gibson Les Paul Modern Studio. So there's the regular Studio that is retailing for $1,700, and then this is $300 more. Is it worth $300 more? No. No, it is. I'm just going to tell you right now, no, it is not worth $300 more. Unless you really like push pulls and a contour and an ebony fretboard, which I think you can get the ebony fretboard on White Studios anyway. So just price range wise, for right around $2,000, you can buy a used Gibson Les Paul standard. It might be like $2,200, a couple $100 more, but for this price on the used market, you are able to buy a Gibson Les Paul standard. Used studios. I actually got mine a while back for a good deal. I don't see those deals as much for $550. It was a '94, the studio I have. But typically, on the low end, you can get the old faded series from like 2008-ish for somewhere between $700 and $900. So less than half the price. I mean, yeah, you got to factor in like shipping, but if someone's selling it locally, usually you can get them for under $1,000. So the price of this thing is kind of atrocious. Not to mention, I do not like satin finishes. I don't mind them on a neck. It feels nice, but what happens over time with satin finishes is you play them and the friction polishes the satin into a gloss. So you either polish this thing up the second you get it, or if you play the crap out of it over time, what's going to happen is the neck is going to be all shiny, and anywhere you touch on the guitar, so around the knobs, you're going to get some shiny spots. Right here, where your arm rests, you're going to get some shiny spots too. If you like to play your guitar shirtless, you're going to make the entire back of this bad boy shiny. So if we look at the back, what annoys me about this too is why can we not have a belly cut? What is so wrong with having a belly cut? I know Gibson can do it because they've done it. We have the modern cutaway, which is nice. I believe locking tuners, we'll go through the specs here. The hardware is all like a black chrome. Aesthetically, it looks nice. Ebony fretboard. As I said, I believe we have locking tuners. So let's go through the finishes real quick too. So you have the wine red. These are all satin. Smokehouse satin, which I like. The white, which I like. And probably my favorite, which is a Gibson.com exclusive, the Manhattan Midnight Satin. Now, something that Gibson did to these, which I think is stupid, is they have an ebony board with a bound fretboard. So the guitar itself is not bound, but the fretboard has black binding on it, and there's no fret nibs. So if you like fret nibs, this is not going to be the guitar for you. But black binding on an ebony guitar, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it's just kind of a waste of extra money. Like, if you could make this guitar $100 to $200 cheaper and get rid of that black binding, I don't think anyone would care because it's a studio anyway. Most studios don't have binding on them. This one does, but the majority of them don't. You do get a case. I don't know what kind of case. Does it specify? If we scroll down, is it just a gig bag? I mean, I feel like for $2,000 it should be a hard shell case, but we'll see what we got here. The legendary Les Paul Studio updated with modern refinements. Pickup wise, no, it's not. It's the same 490R, 498T that they've been putting in the studios for the last 30 years. So for years, the Les Paul Studio has been the choice of countless guitarists to appreciate the combination of ultra-modern weight-relieved body and mahogany cap paired with simplified cosmetics appointments. This cherished model has been refined as the Les Paul Modern Studio. It incorporates improvements and enhanced features, many taken directly from the Les Paul Modern, including a bound ebony fretboard with a compound radius. Oh, that I did not know. That's kind of neat. Honestly, with most guitars, if you didn't tell me it had a compound radius, 50-50 if I'd be able to tell. I'll be honest, I have played several guitars with compound radiuses, and I mean, it's a neat feature, but is it something that I have to have? No. Modern contoured heel, which is nice for exceptional upper fret access, black nickel hardware, and in addition to coil tapping, additional switching to control overphase and true bypass. Soft shell case. Okay, so it's going to be that Gibson kind of like hard shell, soft shell case included with this no nonsense high performance tone machine. Yeah, so I always thought of a studio as the working man's guitar, or the person that, they can't afford a standard, they can't afford a custom, they really just want a Gibson Les Paul. They don't want the light, they don't want a special, they want a Gibson Les Paul. And this is the guitar, a studio. The bodies, I believe, are a hair thinner than the regular standards, and the customs and everything else like that, but who cares? But my only, as I said, my two biggest complaints with this thing is make the body gloss, give us a belly cut, and cut that price down. Honestly, I think a regular studio should be like $1,500, and this one should be $1,600. I don't see a $300 price difference. I don't. So maple top, ultra modern weight relief, Les Paul body, single ply black, just on the fretboard, which I don't even care about. Mahogany, of course, it's going to be a satin nitrocellulose lacquer. It's always nitrocellulose. Slim taper with modern contouring heel. I have my old SG. My SG Melody Maker has the slim taper, not the modern contouring heel, but very nice. It's a nice neck profile. Compound radius is always probably like 12 to 16. I don't think they specifically tell you. Graph Tech nut, which is always nice. You got the acrylic trapezoids, whatever. Typical scaling, 24 3/4, 22 frets. 24 frets would have been nice on the modern, being it's called the modern. I think a lot of players would have 24 frets. Set neck, ebony, medium jumbo, no stainless steel frets. Well, I ruined it. Black nickel finish, which is cool. Grover Rotomatic with keystone buttons. So they're actually not even locking Grovers. They're just plain Grovers. Couldn't have, yeah. Wow. They couldn't have sprung for the locking Grovers. That's kind of disappointing, too, on a modern guitar, because the modern, I believe, does have locking tuners. Black 2-ply Bell Studio. That's just the truss rod cover. Who cares? You do get the switch washer if you want it. You got the regular strap buttons. Got the aluminum Nashville Tunematic bridge. Pickguard's black. You got the black speed knobs, black jack plate, so not a metal jack plate, just a black one, plastic. Mounting rings are black, aluminum stop bar. Of course, you got the truss rod, black switch tips. Yeah, let's go with electronics. I was really hoping they'd put something different in this. So the 490R, 498T, those pickups came out in the early 90s, if I remember correctly, maybe the late 80s, early 90s. And they have been using them exclusively in the studios forever. Like, more than, the Mice 94 has that pickup set in it. And that is, 30 years old at this point. And the older studios have that combination as well. So it would have been really cool if we got something different in the pickups. Maybe 57 Classics. Honestly, really anything. Literally anything I would have taken. Don't get me wrong, I love this pickup set. It sounds fantastic, but when it's called the Les Paul Modern, you could at least put like burst buckers or something in it. I don't really think it cost Gibson that much more money to make those pickups, because this is actually the pickup set that's commonly found in custom still to this day. They're still using this pickup set in the Gibson Les Paul Custom, but the standards, they're using the burst buckers. Miscellaneous, yes, soft shell case. I'm actually curious. Let's go back. Oh, lost one. Let's find the Les Paul Modern. Gibson Les Paul Modern. So this is $1,000 more, obviously. More expensive. But let's see here. Body. Hardware. Yeah, this has the locking tuners. And this has the Burst Bucker Pro Plus. I would have been fine if they put those in there. So actually, this guitar has actually been out for over a month. There was some ones that popped up on Reverb. This gentleman right here, Company Grip, pretty cool guitar channel as well. He was able to snag one early in the white finish, which looks really, really nice. Yet again, I prefer the the right here, the exclusive, the Manhattan Midnight Satin. That is a really cool color. But price point, no. Electronics and tuners, eh. The coolest thing about this is the ebony fretboard that has the binding. I'll be honest with you. I mean, the binding I don't really care because it's a studio. If I was buying a standard, then yeah, I want all the binding and the fancy fret nibs and all that other crap. But on a studio, it's just a workhorse. I think it's just an extra expense that doesn't need to be on there. Cool feature to have. But I would have really liked to see locking tuners, belly cut, put the Burstbucker Pros, or literally any other pickup combination in this thing. It doesn't need binding on the fretboard, and give us locking tuners. And 24 frets. That's what everyone would have loved to see on this guitar. Price-wise, if you got the money and you want to have one of these, go for it. I mean, it's your money, do what you want with it. But if you look on the used market, you can easily find a plain Jane Studio that has the same pickups. Keep in mind, you won't have the push-pulls. So if you want to do that, you'd have to modify the guitar and probably spend $50 to $100 on someone modifying your electronics. Providing that that particular year has splittable pickups, because there are Gibson pickups that are not splittable. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But I just pass on this. I don't see a point to it. This is definitely not in a working man's budget. And I look forward to seeing these on the used market for $1,000 in the next 2 to 3 years, because these things are not going to hold a $2,000 value. Studios never hold value unless they're like super, super old. The Studio Custom, the Studio Standard, the old original Studios hold some value. Something like this is not going to. Maybe this color might, because it is exclusive, but I highly doubt that. Actually, is this the reverse burst? Okay, I actually lied. I no longer like this finish. I thought it was a full perimeter burst, which I'm fine with perimeter burst or teardrop, but this doesn't actually cover the whole thing. So this is kind of like a reverse burst, and I don't particularly like that. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I guess I could live with it, but I'm not going to buy this thing, so I don't really care. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, notification bell, like, share, all that fun stuff. I'm going to go take a nap. Have a good one.